Speaking ahead of a federal high court hearing in Abuja, Argonne Secretary General Muhammad Abubakar said the AGF's directive for the Central Bank of Nigeria to open uniform account for all local governments undermines the spirit of the court's decision. The Supreme Court clearly affirmed that local governments are an independent tier of government, yet actions from the AGF's office contradict that autonomy, Abubakar said in Abuja. Argonne are taking legal action against the AGF and several other federal institutions in suits FHC/ABJ/05/353/2025 seeking full inclusion of local governments in the Federation Account Allocation Committee and the right to independently manage their funds. The suit also names the Minister of Finance, Wali Edu, Minister of Budget and National Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, Accountant General of the Federation, the CBN, NNPCL, and commercial banks as defendants. Although the Supreme Court ruled on July 11, 2024 that local government allocations should be paid directly to their accounts, granting them full financial autonomy, implementation has stalled. The CBN reportedly demanded that each council provide 2 years of audited financial reports before accounts could be opened, a requirement Argonne says was not part of the court ruling. In the meantime, Nigeria's external debt service is projected to rise to $5.2 billion this year, highlighting growing pressure on public finances despite ongoing economic reforms, Fitch Ratings has said. The credit rating agency disclosed this in its latest rating action commentary published last Friday, in which it upgraded Nigeria's long-term foreign currency issuer default rating to B from B- with a stable outlook. According to the report, government external debt service will increase from $4.7 billion in 2024 to $5.2 billion in 2025. Fitch noted government external debt service is moderate but expected to rise to $5.2 billion in 2025, with $4.5 billion of amortizations, including a $1.1 billion Eurobond repayment due in November 2025 from $4.7 billion in 2024 and fall to $3.5 billion in 2026. The agency also cited a minor delay in the payment of a Eurobond coupon due on March 28, 2025 as a reflection of persistent challenges in public finance management. Minister of Power has pledged to address 4 trillion naira electricity debt owed by GENCOs, which saw the electricity distribution companies threatening a shutdown. Weighing in on the development, the special advisor to the Power Minister, Bolaji Tunji, said the government is aware of the development and is making concrete steps to resolve the lingering issue. He said as part of the steps taken by the government, the Ministry of Finance will take charge of the payment very soon. A nationwide blackout looked imminent as the 23 power generation companies warned that they can no longer guarantee a steady electricity supply due to the worsening liquidity crisis in the electricity market, with outstanding debts now exceeding 4 trillion naira, comprising 2 trillion naira for power supplied in 2024 and 1.9 trillion naira in legacy debts. The firms under the aegis of the Association of Power Generation Companies raised the alarm in a statement issued yesterday and signed by the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Konesani Bello, retired. They said the debt burden and operational constraints currently facing the companies could force an imminent shutdown of power plants if urgent interventions were not implemented. Former Vice President Abubakar Atiku Abubakar has insisted that a coalition remains the only way to unseat President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 election. Atiku argued against the position of 11 People's Democratic Party governors who distanced the party from the proposed coalition being championed by the former vice president. Rising from their meeting in Ibadan, the PDP Governors Forum, chaired by Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, announced that the party will not participate in any coalition or merger. Last month, Atiku, who contested the 2023 presidential election under the PDP alongside the former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and ex-Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, announced the creation of a coalition aimed at defeating President Tinubu in the 2027 poll. The announcement has sparked growing debate, with stakeholders differing on the coalition's viability. Atiku, who is believed to be interested in running for president in 2027, has been a strong proponent of opposition unity, stressing the need for collaboration. But reading the communique on behalf of the 11 PDP governors, the Bauchi State Governor stated that instead of joining any coalition, the party, as a major opposition force, would welcome any party, individuals or groups willing to join it in the pursuit of reclaiming power and establishing good leadership in 2027. He stated, noting the nationwide speculations about possible merger of political parties, groups and/or associations, the forum resolved that the PDP will not join any coalition or merger. In response to the governor's rejection of the coalition, Atiku, while describing the state's herdsmen as key leaders of the PDP, emphasized that the movement already belongs to the people and is a pan-Nigerian initiative. Atiku noted that the governor's decision highlighted the necessity for broader consultation. President Bola Tinubu has strongly condemned the violence in Plateau State, urging the state's leadership to find a lasting solution to persistent communal conflicts. This comes after at least 51 people were again killed by gunmen, with scores injured in the early hours of yesterday in the Zike and Kapa communities in Basa local government area of the north-central state, 2 weeks after deadly clashes in another part of the state left several people dead. Last week, the National Emergency Agency said gunmen had killed at least 52 people and displaced nearly 2,000 others over several days of attacks in Plateau, which has had a history of violence between farmers and cattle herders. Residents said 51 bodies had been recovered in the Zike and Kimapa villages in Plateau's Basa district, while several more were reportedly injured. Tinubu, in a statement by his special assistant on media and strategy, Bao Onanuga, expressed profound sorrow over the bloodshed and extended his condolences to Governor Caleb Muftuawan, the state government and the people of Plateau State. The president argued that the ongoing violence between communities in Plateau State, rooted in misunderstanding between different ethnic and religious groups, must cease. And on to sports. Flying Eagles head coach Aliyu Zubair has played down notions that the Nigerian under-20 team are in a group of death for the 2024 under-20 AFCON in Egypt. During a new draw that was conducted recently, Nigeria were drawn in Group B, where they will face Tunisia, Kenya, and Morocco as they hope to win their 8th continental title. The Flying Eagles were formerly drawn alongside Egypt, South Africa, and Morocco, but a new draw was occasioned by the withdrawal of former host Ivory Coast. Following the draw for the tournament, which kicks off on April 27 in Egypt, the El Kanemi Warriors Gafar believes it is preparation that will make the difference. And on the foreign scene, tens of thousands of people have been forced to flee a camp in Darfur in the wake of the most recent attacks, as a high-level international conference is underway in London to find a pathway to peace in Sudan, according to UK's Foreign Secretary David Lammy. Sudan's civil war began exactly 2 years ago, causing what aid agencies call the world's worst humanitarian crisis. The UK is promising an extra £120 million worth of food and medical assistance. Charities say 30 million people in Sudan are in desperate need, and people are starving as a result of the war. While opening the meeting, Lammy said more than 12 million people have been forced from their homes in Sudan and tens of thousands killed amid widespread reports of sexual violence across the country and a genocide in Darfur. And with that report, we've come to the end of the evening news on OSBC TV. Join us at 7 for the major report. Good evening.